Hey everyone, it's Michael Zapersky here from Consulting Success. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I want to talk about and share three proven consulting business models. There's many different approaches, many different ways that you can grow a consulting business, but not necessarily everyone is going to be the right fit for you. So how do you know which consulting business model is going to be the most lucrative, the most beneficial for you to actually grow into, one that's going to actually fit your lifestyle and your goals? So I'm going to talk about the three different consulting models. Each one is proven. There's variations of these, but let's talk about the pros and cons of each. So the first consulting model that we're going to talk about here is the firm model. I hope that you can see this. Let me know in the comments if you can see what I'm writing here. So the first is the firm model. And we talk about the firm model, really what we're referring to is the classic, when you think of the established, the large consulting firms, right? They build teams. And what many of them do is they bring in clients, and they have many associates and junior consultants, and they place these people into client projects. And so, for example, let's say that the client is paying the consulting firm $300 an hour. Well, the firm would pay the junior consultant or the people on the project, let's just say $200 an hour as an example. And so they make a $100 margin on that. And we're not going to get into all the other expenses and things that come up with this, but the first model is the firm model. Now, what should you think about if you're going to use the firm model? Well, number one, you should really be someone that enjoys managing people, right? Because this requires a lot of operations, a lot of moving parts. If you're someone that, maybe you've moved out of the corporate world or you've had your own business and you don't enjoy managing people and overseeing operations and complexity and infrastructure, then you should really stay away from the firm and the team model, because it requires a lot of hiring, it requires a lot of training, it requires a lot of working with other people. So if that gets you excited, then the firm model might be a good choice for you. If that just sounds like terror, then you should stay away from it, because you really do need to build a team and do everything that is required to manage and maintain a high operating, high performance team. However, there is a positive, and that is that as you build up the firm model, you yourself don't actually need to do a lot of the work. You can move quite quickly from being the consultant doing the delivery to being the consultant that is the strategist, that is the vision person, really operating as a CEO in the company, but not actually having to do a lot of the work. The other benefit of the firm model is that you can create a lot of asset value, meaning that because you are not doing all of the work yourself, right? You're building out a team to do a lot of the work, and that the actual work can be done without you being directly involved. It means that if you decide in the future to sell the business or to sell a part of the business, that you are not tied directly to the business. Therefore, it becomes a more saleable asset. The value increases because it can operate without you being directly involved. Now, the second model here, second consulting business model, is the solo model. And you can call this the independent consultant or the solo consulting business model. And this is really where you are focused on high value clients to make this work, right? So you want to be bringing on not just small clients, not clients that are just going to pay you, a couple of $1,000s here and there, but really clients that are going to be investing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into working with you. And that is because as an independent, as a solo, individual, or even if you have a couple of people or a couple of assistants, to really operate in this model, you need to be very focused on the client. You are the one doing the majority of the work, or right, a significant component of the work. And sorry about the camera there, it looks like it's just moving in and out with the whiteboard. But because of that, it means that you need to be focused on low volume, meaning fewer numbers of clients, but each client then should be worth more to you. And that's really critical, because if you try to land lower valued clients in the solo kind of independent model, you will end up becoming overwhelmed. You'll be creating a lot of complexity. And that's because with a solo independent model, you're doing a lot of customization. You're working very closely with your clients, and that's where the value is created. But if you try and have a lot of clients at low dollar value, applying the solo model, you will become overwhelmed. You're just creating too much complication, and you likely won't be able to succeed, or you'll reach capacity too quickly. You won't be able to grow beyond where you are because you can't create more hours in the day. Whereas in the firm model, right, you want the more, capacity isn't really as big of an issue as long as you can hire more and more people to deliver the services for you, right? In the firm model, it's okay to have high volume, right? Because you are not the one doing the actual work, right? And it's okay here to also have high value, because the more valuable the project, really where you make your money in the firm model is in the margin, right? It's the difference between what you pay your team members, your associates, the consultants that you have doing the work for you, and what the company and the business is able to bring in. In the solo model, right here, you want low volume. Because if you try and work with too many clients, you will become overwhelmed. So it's low volume here, high value. Right? So you really want to focus on valuable clients, high value, high paying clients in the solo independent model in order to be able to make that work for you. And the other thing that you should be keeping in mind here is that for the solo model, right, what most people do is you're doing customized delivery, which some people love because you're always doing new projects, you're finding new ways to deliver approaches, new ways to create results for your clients. Not necessarily every project, right? They can look quite different. There's not much similarity, but you're applying your expertise. And so if that really kind of gets you excited, then the solo independent model might be a really good fit. Now, what is the third model? So the third model is productization, or just call it the productized consulting model. And so with the, see here, I'm just out of the picture a little bit. With the productized model, what you're doing is you're developing systems. So the idea with productization is it's very different from a solo independent model, because you're identifying where you can create the highest level of results for your client. And instead of customizing, instead of creating new approaches or new ideas or providing different services, you pick typically one main area. And so that might be that you are going to master the idea of creating marketing plans, or you're going to become the best in the world at designing pharmaceutical packaging. So whatever it is that you're doing, you get very, very specific on that one thing. And because you're very focused on that one thing, you're then able to create systems, you're able to create standardized processes. I hope that you can see us. Let me know in the comments if you can. So processes, and what you're really working towards is mastery, right? It's like the Japanese swordsmith who's creating the katana, the large samurai sword. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again, which allows you to get better and better and better at it, right? So this is the idea of productization. You're developing systems, processes. You're really working to master in one area and to become the best at that. And because you're creating systems and processes, the upside, the benefit of this is that you're able to delegate, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over. And then of course, there's gonna be some, like typically what I would say here is you're gonna be spending about 80% of your time doing the same thing, 20% customized. And those numbers vary, of course, but roughly. And so because you're spending 80% of your time doing the same things, you have the same systems, the same processes, it means it's very easy to train, to delegate, to even outsource or work with people that can help you to deliver that for your clients. So once you've developed overall system and process, then it's very easy to bring someone in to run that system or to run that process for you. And that then frees you up. The other benefit is also asset value, right? This is more saleable, right? If you ever want to sell your business, having a productized model or the consulting firm model is easier to sell, because you're able to pull yourself out of that business a lot easier than if you're using the solo or independent model, right? In this model, everything revolves around you. If you're not there, then your clients aren't getting results. If you're not there, there's no business, right? You are the business. But with the firm model, once established, you can remove yourself from it or not be involved in the day-to-day operations, and the business should still run. Likewise, with the productized model, once it's up and running, there's certain elements and more over time that you don't actually need to be directly involved in, and yet people can still get, your clients can still get a really good result. And therefore, if you ever want to sell a productized consulting business or a firm model, it's easier than in solo, because here you're customizing. Here you're doing one thing over and over and getting much better at it. So these are the things that you want to think about is, if you don't enjoy managing people, you should not be thinking about building a consulting firm. If you get bored very easily, you may not actually enjoy the productized model, or you might want to build a model and work on delegating and putting in the team and system and processes so that you don't need to be as involved in this, because you would be doing the same thing over and over. But if you love the idea of mastery, then this might be a really great fit. If you love the idea of creating more leverage so that you can get this up and running, but then because of the systems and the processes involved, you can now work on other things like content creation or developing your intellectual property or new business ideas or new additions to the model, then this might be really good. But if you're someone that just really craves deep engagements, deep customized work with clients, and you don't want to work with many clients at one time, then the solo independent model might be a great fit for you if you're very focused on that and on lifestyle. Whereas with a productized model, you can have anywhere from 10 to 100 or even more clients at one time, and similar with the firm model. So there's no right or wrong, right? Some people say, well, what is the best consulting model? There is no best. It depends on what's meaningful for you. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? What kind of business do you want to build? What kind of, what level of revenue do you want to take the business to? Do you want to have employees or do you not? We work at Consulting Success with clients and consultants in all different areas. Some are running the solo independent model and they absolutely love it. Others really want to have a firm because they want to be more than just about themselves, and they want to build a team. They want to build a $10 million or $50 million business over time. And then others are running, million plus $2 million productized consulting businesses. And here's the other thing: you can use a hybrid. You can take the best from some of these elements to put them together and to really create a consulting business that speaks to and supports what is most meaningful for you, what you want the most. So there you have it. Those are three proven approaches, three different consulting models that you can use. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below which one you're currently using or which one you feel is the best fit for you. And if you have any questions, just also hit up the comments there. Please hit the like or the share button. It's always appreciated to see your engagement, and also love to hear from you. What other topics are you most interested in learning when it comes to building a successful consulting business? And I'll take that into consideration when I create another video here for you very soon. Have a great day.